Welcome to Senior Moments. Hello, everyone. I'm Linda Brayman. November, snow is on the way and some may have fallen already by the time you see this. Don't worry, you've always got Senior Moments. Senior Moments covers events and activities at senior centers in the Ann Arbor Ypsilanti area, such as the Ann Arbor Senior Center, Turner Senior Resource Center, the Pittsfield Senior Center, and Ann Arbor Community Center. Also, the show provides valuable information for senior citizens on such issues as health, wealth, finance, and entertainment. Senior Moments is a monthly show. It premieres on the last Sunday of the month at 5 p.m., and it returns 10 times a week on CTN Channel 16. Please check our website, a2gov.org/CTN, for the playback schedule. Also, you can watch the show on YouTube. Please log on to youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to view current and archived shows. Next time we meet, there will probably be snow to shovel. Stay inside, grab a cup of hot chocolate, and watch Senior Moments.
Welcome to Senior Moments. My name is Brittany Patton, and I'm the Recreation Supervisor of the City of Ann Arbor Senior Center in Burns Park. Today we have Jennifer Howard, the Director of the Turner Senior Resource Center. Thank you for participating in the show, Jennifer.
Well, thank you for having me, Brittany.
So I've been supervising the Ann Arbor Senior Center for a couple of years now, and I understand you became the Turner Center's director around the time when I started working here. How has been working at the Turner Center?
Yes, that is the case. I started my position there on the day that we shut down to the public. So my first day was the first day that we didn't have participants in the center, and we were able to come in as a staff for about a week, and then we were all sent home. And so it's been an interesting journey. We had to immediately start switching all of our programming over to virtual programming, and all of our classes and lectures and social groups and support groups, trying to switch those over to an online platform and helping our participants to switch over to doing programs virtually, and a lot of technology mentorship. And it was a little crazy for a while. And then, of course, very much like you, it's been back and forth. And just recently, we've started reopening to in-person programming.
Yes, that was quite complicated, trying to navigate the best online platform. And so many people nowadays have technology because of the pandemic, and that being the way that we were able to communicate with each other for so long. So today I want to talk about the Turner Resource Center and what the current accessibility to the center is like, and when and how the center is going to reopen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, happy to. So the Turner Senior Resource Center houses 3 different community programs, including the Turner Senior Wellness Program, of which I'm the director. But I also oversee, or I'm responsible for, 2 other community programs, including OLLI, which is the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute, and Silver Club Memory Programs. And the Silver Club Memory Programs, very much like all of the other programs that we're doing, their programming obviously was all in person for people in the early stages of dementia, and the adult day program for the people in the moderate stages of dementia. They had to, like the rest of us, shut down and go to 100% virtual programming, which was a little bit more complicated because very different than sort of the main part of what they do from day to day. OLLI, the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute, switched all of their lectures and study groups and everything that they do to a virtual platform. And they're still 100% virtual and will continue to be until January of 2022. For the Turner Senior Wellness Program, through that program, we host exercise classes and healthy living lectures, cooking demonstrations, different types of social groups, support groups. We do information and referral, care consultation, computer and technology mentorship, Medicare, Medicaid assistance program is run out of our center. And so we were able to transition almost everything into a virtual platform, with the exception of a few things. Some of our social groups, like our bridge groups and mahjong groups, and people who would get together in person and play games, we couldn't really do that virtually. And even as we're starting to introduce, or when we started to introduce some more in-person programming back last summer, we couldn't host those groups because they can't be 6 feet apart from each other. And, it's really tricky for them. We were able to come back for a few in-person things last summer before we were shut down again when the numbers for COVID started going back up. And at the point that we're at now, our center is completely open on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's open to the public. If people want to come in, have a cup of coffee, browse our library, use our computer lab, just sit around and socialize together. We're hosting a couple of exercise classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays to a limited number of participants who are spaced out. We have had some of our social groups have gotten together. We have a group of older gentlemen called Wise Guys, and they get together and just sort of shoot the breeze and catch up with each other. And they've got a host of different topics that they like to talk about. And they met in person for the first time since the pandemic started this past week. We have a group called Una Tuturlia, who is a group of older adults who are Spanish speaking natives, or their native language is Spanish. And it gives them an opportunity to get together and to speak Spanish and to talk about different topics and listen to music. And they've been able to get back together in person. We've had a couple of mahjong groups starting to come back together. And so it's starting to feel like a center again, in a more traditional sense. And the challenge that we're facing right now is we're planning for our fall, September through December programming. And our plan is to reopen the center unless anything crazy happens. We're planning on being open 5 days a week and doing all of our programming in person with a hybrid option. So, if you're taking an exercise class, you should be, for the most part, able to come in person to a limited number of people again, and then everybody else can participate at home through Zoom. So you would get the experience of a live class, but in some people in person. All of our participants have different tolerances, opinions, and different risk levels for doing in-person events. And so we've been just telling people, make the best decision for yourself, for the best decision for your mental health and your physical health, based on where you are, how comfortable you are coming in person. And our goal is to have options for everybody and to be as inclusive as we possibly can. So no matter where people are, they're able to participate in a way that is meaningful to them and that feels safe for them.
Thank you for sharing. That's a very wonderful way of being able to explain how to invite the community back into a center so that it's, friendly and safe and comfortable for everybody. So would you mind talking a little bit about your background and how you started working at the Turner Resource Center?
Sure. Well, interestingly enough, I started my career out in banking and worked for a bank that at the time was called Republic Bank many, many years ago in downtown Ann Arbor. And at that time, just fell in love with working with some of our older adults, customers, and ran a program for our older adult customers. And I decided to go back to school to get my master's in social work and to study geriatrics. And I did that back, in the very late 90s. And my two internships that I had through the MSW program at the University of Michigan were at the Turner Geriatric Clinic. So I worked as a clinical social worker on their staff doing care consultation and counseling, depression treatment groups, that type of thing. And then right before that, I did an internship at the Alzheimer's Association and worked doing, again, care consultations, education programs, and that type of thing. I ended up staying at home for several years with my girls when they were born. And then when I went back to work, I actually spent the last 10 years working as the executive director of the Alzheimer's Association Michigan Great Lakes chapter, and just left that position in December of 19 and started back with sort of, it was almost like coming home again to the Turner Geriatric Clinic, to that team, but this time working in the community outreach section and the community programs of the geriatric department. And there are some social workers that more than 20 years ago or so, it's been more than 20 years, some of the social workers that were my mentors as an MSW student are still on staff at the Turner Geriatric Clinic. And it's so much fun to, sort of come full circle and to work with them again as a colleague. I had worked on their staff for a short period of time as well before my daughters were born. But I would say that the majority of my career as a social worker has been spent in macro practice and working in fundraising and public policy, overseeing larger program initiatives and that type of thing. And this position allows me to sort of have a foot in both camps. I'm doing some fundraising and doing community collaborations and larger scale programming, but I also get to work directly with older adults every day, and it's been very rewarding.
Oh yes, I can speak to that for sure. And it sounds like your background and your life experiences are all well suited for the position you're in. So are there any interesting events or activities that will be taking place at the Turner Resource Center in the near future?
Yeah, I would say that people should keep an eye on our website. They can get to the website for the wellness program at MICHMED, which is MICHMED.org/TSWP for Turner Senior Wellness Program, to get the latest calendar and updates and to look for that fall programming. We still have programming going on right now, but I think the most exciting buzz is the fact that we're going to start doing in-person programming really soon. We're dabbling in it right now and seeing how everything is going, but we'll be sort of full in-person programming if all goes well in the fall. So that's pretty exciting. We've got some great series that we're planning that are coming up. I work with a group called TASC, which is the Turner African American Services Council. And their mission is it's sort of like a smaller group that works with our community programs, a group of volunteers. And their mission is to improve health and wellness for older diverse adults. And so they're sort of in the middle of this systemic racism series, and their last presentation is coming up in October, and it's called Hope for the Future on October 9th. And so we're really excited about that program. More details on speakers for that coming shortly. We are planning a healthy aging series that should kick off in January and run January through May. And this is a collaboration between the geriatric department, all three of the geriatric community programs, and one of the other departments within the University of Michigan. And we're hoping to kick each month off with a different health and wellness topic, with a lecture from somebody renowned in their field, and then throughout the month have discussion groups, workshops, and that type of thing, all within that topic, and then move sort of from topic to topic each month. So I would tell people to keep their eyes open for that programming as well. That would be offered free to the community.
That all sounds very exciting, very educational, and I would appreciate it very much to have some information. We can help promote it from the Ann Arbor Senior Center side as well. So Jennifer, lastly, could you please tell us the address, phone number, and website of the Turner Resource Center?
My pleasure. So we are located at 2401 Plymouth Road, and that is in Ann Arbor. And if people know the East Ann Arbor U of M Clinic, we are maybe a mile or two west on Plymouth Road from that clinic. And so really easy to get to, right on the bus line, so people can get to us pretty easily. We do have parking. Our phone number people can call is 734-998-9353. And then the website that they can go to is michmed.org/TSWP. And if they have, that specifically gets people to the Turner Senior Wellness Program. But if people are interested in learning more about the Silver Club Memory Programs or OLLI, the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute, they can call that phone number and we can connect them to the other programs as well. We all work very closely together. And those programs, I should say, are physically located in the same building as we are. So the Resource Center, it's a little complicated. The Turner Senior Resource Center is the physical location that houses those 3 community programs.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing and for being here today. And I will make a point to come visit on a Tuesday or Thursday when you're open. I'd love to see the space and see what everyone's doing.
Please do.
Thank you again for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Today we had Jennifer Howard, the Director of Turner Resource Senior Center. Thank you for tuning into Senior Moments.
Thank you for joining us on Senior Moments. I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm Linda Brayman. Have a happy Thanksgiving.